This is a desert, and this is a dessert. And this is me building a miniature desert complete with tiny insects and dangerous predators. Right now though, in this very moment, I have no clue how I'm actually gonna do it, but a while ago, I made a tiny forest inside of a table, so I figured I would try a similar type of challenge. And the rules are simple. I have to use a piece of furniture from the thrift store, and the desert has to have living plants and creatures. Let's get to it. To the thrift store we go. Oh yeah, I guess you guys can come along too. Come on. Okay, I'm here. Now I just gotta find the perfect furniture piece to transform. I started the search and was instantly a bit overwhelmed by all of the options. Ooh, maybe this could work. Build it out the top right there. That'd be kind of neat. But I wasn't fully convinced it was the one, so I kept on looking until... Ooh, okay, I think I found it. Let me see. Put you guys somewhere down here. Oh, sorry. This one right here. Look at that. I can really envision this one working well. Build it kind of into the center frame, and then you've got viewing from the top and all the sides. Yeah, I think this is the one. Let's get it. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, yeah. Mission accomplished. I got what I came here for. But I feel like this has been the easy part, because here on out, I have a sneaky feeling that it's just gonna be pretty difficult, because somehow I gotta tackle the challenge of turning this little table into a beautiful living desert. So I did what I usually do when I have a creative problem to solve. I made a coffee. Then I got out my notebook and a pen and began sketching out some concepts and ideas. I really enjoy this brainstorming process. It's where I can just let my imagination take over and start to think through all the details until I hopefully have some sort of plan. Guess who has a plan? This guy right here. It's, can you see that? It's just a bunch of scribbles, really. It's not too detailed, but it gives me enough of an idea to start the process. So let me show you what I'm thinking. I'm gonna try and see if I can get plexiglass pieces that kind of fit, boom, 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 on all the sides. And then that way, it'll be a 360 view from the top part too of the desert aquarium. Not aquarium, what's the word? Terrarium. But I currently don't own any plexiglass, so I'm gonna have to get some materials. Next time you see me, we will officially begin the build. I don't know why I brought it so close, sorry. Let's just cut ahead, please, to the next part where I am now the proud owner of some plexiglass. So now that I successfully have a plan, the next step is to build the actual terrarium, and then I'm gonna fill it with all the stuff and the creatures. So first things first, I gotta cut down these sheets so that they're the perfect size. Oh, no. Dang it. It doesn't fit. I don't think I accounted for the overlap gap measurement. Oh no, and I chipped it. You know that saying, measure twice, cut once? My motto seems to be measure 6 times and cut 25, because no matter how many times I do it, I always gotta recut stuff. Okay, I think we're good now. Next step is to glue all the pieces together. And I'm gonna try this fancy new glue I got called Weld-On 4, and it's made specifically to join like this type of plastic together. Apparently this stuff works by melting the plastic surface of the two pieces, and it forms a chemical bond that's insanely strong. And as I went to do the first one, I accidentally spilled some. It's kind of hard to see here, but I figured no problem, I'll just wipe it away, and nope, that did not work. No, dang it. Whew. It's already dry. That's it. That's on there forever. Okay, well, I've learned something new about this new glue that I'm trying. It's basically liquid, and it comes out really fast. Live and learn, I guess. These projects and challenges that I take on, they really help me to embrace that things just sometimes go wrong, and that's okay. So even though the perfectionist in me is definitely rattled about the big glue mark, I had to stay focused here, and I did my best to get all of the other plexiglass panels secured into place. Whew. Okay. I think I got it all put together. I definitely hate this new glue, or whatever this is. It's like liquid nightmare. It's so messy. I got drips everywhere, but is what it is. I'm decently happy with it, so I gotta leave it for a few more days to fully dry, and then on to the next step. Okay, it has not actually just been a few days. It's been quite a while since that last clip, and a lot has happened since then. Allie gave birth to our son Hank, so we're officially now a family of 4. We celebrated a really special Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, it's a whole other year now since I've worked on this project last, but I'm feeling motivated again. I got the time, life was just busy there for a bit, but let's get back to it. It's stormy out here, and look, we got our first little dusting of snow. Okay, so I've officially built the actual terrarium structure, and now it is time to fill this thing up and transform it into a proper desert landscape. First thing I'm gonna do involves these rocks, which I just found for free. They were chilling in a pile on the side of the road, so thank you to whoever left those there. I want to add a bit of height at the back here. I don't want it to just be flat and boring, but I can't pile up a ton of rocks because it'll make this thing way heavier, and it's already pretty dang heavy, and it's completely empty. I'm thinking of using these foam bits, which is leftover from the homemade jetpack project, and they're much lighter than rocks, so I think I can stack them up and make something work. I got to it, gluing them in place, and just honestly made it up as I went, stacking more and more until I was happy with how it looked. And now I'm gonna add in some of the rocks. Can you envision it now? It actually looks nothing like a desert. I take that back. I think the next step that I'm about to do, that's gonna help us envision it a bit better. I'm gonna use this stuff called excavator clay, which I've never used before, but apparently it's pretty simple. You just pour it in a bucket and then add in some water. And then you just mix it up. And that's it. Now, should have this red desert looking clay stuff that I can use to cover all the pink foam, secure the rocks in, and whew, it's gonna look really good, I promise. Not sure if I should be making overly ambitious promises at this point, as I still have a long way to go, but I was just feeling confident, I guess. And I was also having fun. This part was great, and probably my favorite part of the entire project. I'm adding in some sticks, and now you can start to get the vision. Come on, it's gonna look so good. But there is a very important thing that we're missing: plants. And more specifically, cactuses, or cacti, I think is the plural way to say that, but Whatever it is, these things are legit. Look how spiky that is. That is extremely sharp. I definitely do not want to poke myself with these. That would not be ideal. Oh, were you expecting it to flash ahead and show me poking myself? Psh, come on. Yeah, right. I'm a pro. Ow! Oh! Oh! No! I knew that was gonna happen. Ow! There you go. Is that what you wanted? Oh. Well, a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I'm gonna power through this flesh wound. Adding in the greenery is just bringing it to the next level. It's looking so good. And now whoa, stay. Okay, now is the time to add in the sand. Okay, I know that earlier I said the clay part was my favorite, but this was honestly a really close second. Maybe even takes first place, I don't know. It was just really the perfect finishing touch to make it feel like a proper desert scene. Oh, and I added a bunch of these tiny rocks too. And that is it. Whew. It's very messy in here, but I've accomplished another task. The inside is complete, and honestly, it looks really cool. I wish I could just shrink myself down into an itty bitty person and go for a little hike in here, hang out a little bit, because it looks really neat. This next part I'm really excited for because my desert is gonna become the home for some creatures. So less yapping, let's just fast forward to that. It is time. The first life form that I'm gonna add into the desert are these tiny little bugs called isopods. They're really important in ecosystems to help keep it clean. Think of them as kind of like the janitors, and they're gonna help maintain a healthy habitat here in my desert. Look at them go. They're kind of cute, actually. Now, these first creatures, they're pretty tiny and harmless, but what I'm about to add in next is actually venomous. It's a predator whose venom contains neurotoxins that causes paralysis and is fatal to its prey. It's right inside here. Okay, I'm not actually joking. My hand is a little shaky because I am nervous. I've never been this close to one before. It's a scorpion, by the way. I'll just say it. Okay, that's crazy. Whew. Let's put him inside his home. Whew. Oh, this is crazy. That was suspenseful. Oh man. But he's in. Welcome to your new home, little buddy. And he started to explore it right away. This guy was the king of the desert oasis, and I'd like to think that he appreciated all the details that went into making it. Whoa. He's so cool. I really like him. Should I give him a pet? Okay. Nah, just kidding. He's cool, but still venomous. In the wild, they're nocturnal hunters and use vibrations to detect prey, which for this guy was some live crickets that I put in. And bam! Now it's a proper functioning table again. Want to know another fun fact I recently learned about scorpions? We just gotta wait until nighttime because supposedly they glow in the dark. All you need is a special UV flashlight, and let's try it out and see if it's actually true. I just gotta find him in here. Oh! Oh, there he is! What? Look at that! That's so cool! Whoa. He was, in fact, glowing, like this bright, greeny blue radioactive color. It was so wild. If I ever go hiking at night in the desert, I'm definitely bringing this flashlight with me, because without it, he just blends right into the dark. Okay, that was one of the coolest things I've seen. Come on, how neat is nature? Wow. This brings us to the end of the challenge. I'm very happy that I was able to transform a boring thrift store table into this amazing living desert. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I also added lights. You know I had to. Look at this, you can do party mode. When the scorpion wants to, throw a rave or something. You do all sorts of colors. And now, there's only one final thing left to do. It only makes sense to redonate my new and improved table. So hopefully whoever gets it will appreciate the work that went into making it and will also take care of my new friend. Don't worry, I did take out the scorpion before redonating it, so he's gonna go to a proper good home.